Hi, my name is Katrina and I work here at Carroll County Public Library, and today I am going to be showing you how to make a fabric mask. So I hope you'll find this tutorial helpful. There are many different masks that are being made out on the internet right now, so we thought we would add ours to the bunch. So here it is. This is the final product of what it looks like, and it has ear attachments. So let's get started with what you will need in order to make it. Supplies you will need to make your mask will be some fabric. You're going to need to cut 2 pieces of fabric 6 by 9 inches. Now the recommended fabric is 100% cotton, the reason being that cotton is woven at a tighter weave than other fabrics, and you want the densest fabric you can use. So 100% cotton is recommended. You're going to need either a ruler, or I have made a template that is 9 inches across by 6 inches deep. And I would recommend doing it this way if you're making more than one mask. It's just a little faster and a little more accurate. You'll need a pair of scissors, some straight pins, a sewing machine and thread, or if you're hand sewing, it would be, of course, a needle and thread. And then you're going to need some elastic to attach around the ears. Now, elastic is a little difficult to get hold of right now. The recommended elastic is 1/4 inch flat elastic. You're going to cut 2 of these to 7 inches. Now, if you don't have elastic, there are some other options in order to make a mask. You could use ties, and you could put ties in all 4 corners of the mask. If you do use ties, you want them to be 14 inches long each, so that you have enough space to tie them in a bow around the back of your head. So if you do use a ribbon or a tie, you want them to be 14 inches. Another option that I have used is I had some 1-inch elastic, which of course is too wide to go around your ears. However, I've used it to go around the back of my head. Now I'll show you the mask that I made with this. I had to modify the mask slightly to make it work. But here is my mask. You can see it here. And I actually formed a loop on the corners, so it pulled it in, and then I attached the 1-inch elastic around the back. Now, one other option that you have is hair elastics. You can use a hair elastic and cut it so that it opens up, but measure it, because if you remember, we wanted our elastic to be 7 inches, so measure your elastic. If it is 7 inches, then you can proceed as we normally would have our instructions. However, if it is only 6 inches, and this particular one is 6 inches, so I would increase my template by 1 inch, because this is 1 inch shorter. So if you, again, are using a hair elastic and it is 6 inches long, you want to increase the length of your mask by 1 inch to make up for the difference. So let's get started. I now have cut 2 6 by 9 inch pieces of cotton, and I've cut 2 7-inch long pieces of elastic. So the first step, I'm going to turn these with the right sides facing each other, like this. So the wrong side is what's facing out. And then I'm going to pin in the shortest side into these 2 corners. I'm going to pin the elastic like this, but I'm going to be pinning it inside between these 2 layers of fabric. You can see I have put a pin in each corner, and if I open this up, you can see my elastic is right here. You want to make sure this elastic isn't twisted as you put it in. Now I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to do the same thing for this side. Again, I'm going to attach the elastic in between these two layers at the two corners. Okay, all four corners are attached. Now, if I were using the hair ties, I would have done this exactly the same, except, like I said, this will be 10 inches across instead of 9 inches. If I'm using the ribbon, I'm going to attach exactly the same in between the two layers of fabric right into the corners, and I'm just going to try to like maybe roll them up or whatever, keep them in between the two layers of fabric, but you would have a separate ribbon or tie for each of the four corners. They're not going to be joining from here to here. They would just be individually attached for each corner. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to sew this up, except I'm going to leave a gap right between here and here. So I'm going to sew around, all the way around, and leave about 2 inches open right here so that I can flip this inside out when I'm done. I've now sewn all the way around except for a little stretch right here, and I'm going to remove those pins. And I'm going to use this little opening to turn the mask inside out, well, right side out. And here you go, and you can see that your elastic, you can give it a tug and make sure it is definitely attached on all four corners. And then I am going to, where this little opening was, I'm going to just kind of tuck it under and put a pin so I can make sure I sew that closed. Now the next step, because a flat mask doesn't fit to your face very well, we're actually going to be putting some pleats or folds along each of the sides here. Now you want both of these, you're going to put 3 pleats in, you want all of them to face the same direction on both sides. So I'll show you how to do that. All right, now to put these pleats or folds along this side, I'll lift this up so you can see it. You're just literally going to fold them about 1/4 of an inch is what I've been doing. And just put a pin in. I'm going to make sure your lines, your edges line up. And then I put a second one in. Again, you want to make sure that the fold is going the same direction. And then I'm going to put the third one in. So there are my 3 pleats. And now I want to go around to the other side. And I try to space them about the same as the first one was. They look even, and you want to make sure that all of the pleats on this side are going the same direction as this side. I now have both sides of the mask pinned, and you can see my pins on each side here. And I'm now going to sew around the top, securing these folds into place. sewn all the way around, and I'm now just removing all of the pins and trimming away all of the excess threads that are there. And we have a completed mask. Now, if you're keeping this for yourself, you don't have to worry about making sure it's extra clean. However, if you are giving this away, what I have been doing is washing it in soap and very hot water, and then putting it on high heat in the dryer until it's dry. And then before handling them a final time, I wash my hands in very hot water and soap for 20 seconds. And then I touch the masks and I place them in individual Ziploc bags so that way they have not been handled by anything that would be unclean before I give them to someone else. So that is how to make a mask. I hope it's been helpful to you, and thank you for watching.